Today's episode 2 Review Tuesday features 2 Bosch tools. So let's get started. Roll the intro. Today's tool review is going to take place a little bit outside and a little bit inside. So the first I'm going to show you is this right here. This is the Bosch laser. It's a GLL100G. And if you're buying the kit like in Home Depot, you might see it look like this with the X on the end. In a few minutes when it gets dark, we'll go inside and I'll show you all the different things that come with this. But for right now, I want to hook this up while we have a little bit of daylight. We're going to flash this towards my garage and you can see over a distance like what the beam looks like and some cool things that you might like about this versus some of the smaller Bosch lasers. So I'm gonna shut the garage door and show you how this thing works. All right, I'm using my own tripod. Bosch also makes a tripod you can buy as well. So we're just gonna turn it on. And if it's within 4 degrees of level, it will have a solid line like that. If for some reason if it's leaning a certain way, more than 4 degrees out of level, you'll see that it blinks. So what I'm going to do right now is go behind the camera with this laser at 20 feet. I'll kind of yell so you can hear what's going on, and then I'll go to 50 feet. So watch this. Just so you can see the brightness of this. That's approximately 20 feet. Let's go back a little more. That's close to 50 feet. All right, then I also have this laser distance measurer, so I'm going to go back 100 feet and you'll see it's starting to get kind of dark, but you'll see what the line looks like at 100 feet away. So I'm checking my garage door right now after 20 years to see how level it is, and there's a raised panel right there. It looks pretty cool on my arm. So there's a raised panel and it's following that little ridge right there the whole way across. So that's a good thing. Give it a thumbs up. My garage door is still level. And then you can just see how that line just continues to go straight up. So there are so many things you can use this laser for. It's just so quick and easy. There's one more thing to show you outside, then we're gonna head in. This little segment's gonna only be about 30 seconds long, then we'll go inside. But one thing, as it's starting to get dark outside or early in the morning, you can use a grade stake or you can also use a tape measure. And if you're trying to do some grading with your land, like for me, I like to grade my driveway out so I have positive drainage. You can go out and check your grade pretty easy without a laser level and that digital receiver. Several months ago, I showed you this crossline laser level right here. This is the red GLL100. And a few months after that I showed you this one right here. This is the GLL100. This is a green laser level. And now today's video, the GLL100. If you buy this laser right here, let me show you what all it includes. First of all, this heavy duty pouch right here. And in there you'll find all the instructions. And then it also has some information for registering it online. So here's the pouch, and it just easily fits inside there, keeps it nice and safe, and then also has this Velcro belt loop. So if your hands are full, you can always slide this on your belt and walk around and not have to worry about keeping this in your hands. And the next item included in the kit is the BM3 positioning device. So this is actually a 2-piece thing. So if you want to take the one piece right here that has magnets on that side. So this screws down to the bottom there. Let's just tighten it down. The one thing I have to mention with this is you can actually screw that completely tight so this won't swivel at all. So if I want to put this right on the ground right here, it has these feet for stability. So I can go all types of different directions. That works well. Or if I want to put this right here on like my metal garage door, that will hold nice and strong. And then this clips onto this part right here. So if you want to hook this to the top track of a suspended ceiling, you can clamp that on there and you can fine tune your height by turning that little dial right there. It'll go up and down. And then it also has this laser target card right here. This is really good for when you're outside and you're trying to pick up the line in some daylight. So it may not work in direct sunlight, but in indirect sunlight, I've heard this works quite well. So you can just see the card right there, definitely lights up pretty well with that. So I heard if you're in indirect sunlight outdoors, you can probably see this line right here up to about 6 feet. After that, then you're gonna wanna use the target card. And if you can't see it with that, then you're gonna have to wait for the sun to go down a little bit, and then you can definitely see this at dusk or in the morning. So I'll show you the difference between this 30-foot laser right here. So on the white board right there, you can see it kind of bouncing. That's self-leveling. There's a pendulum in there that moves around and that makes that self-level. This has where you can only lock it and unlock it. So with all the cross-line laser levels, if you want to angle it a little bit, so let's say you have a project where you want to hang some wall tiles or maybe a stair railing, something like that at an angle. So if you have the laser set up right there at an angle for doing your project, then this is going to blink. You can't have a steady light. So that's just one way of it notifying you that that's not a level line. So with this, you can either lock it or unlock it. With this one right here, it's just a slight other step. You can go from off on to lock or on to unlock. So let me just show you what that does. So if you go from on to lock, you can see there's no pendulum right there. So if you turn this and angle it, this will blink just the same. So the difference with this one right here is probably just a little more of a professional feature. So if you go to the on lock position, you see where I do that, it's locked. It's not in a pendulum where it's self-leveling. So let me go to the unlock position. You can kind of see how that's bouncing around and self-leveling. Let's say you want to go maybe 2 degrees different. You really can't do that with this because it's going to self-level. If you put this in the lock position and you want to just go a couple degrees over that way because you have something that's very specific, that will blink, letting you know that it's out of square, it's not plumb. But something that you can only do with this one and not that. So it's nice having that feature where you can lock it and unlock it. So if you want to see the difference between the two, so the two beams side by side, you can just see how the green is that much more bold. One of the biggest differences I can see between the two smaller ones and the big one is this right here. So I'll take the 30-foot one and check this out. I'll put this right up close. I'll turn it on. You can see that red line is right there. I start going back. Right there is probably about 8 to 10 inches. And that line is right there. If you keep going back, let's try the, I haven't actually done this yet, so this will be kind of interesting. We'll take the middle size one. This is green laser. I believe this has the same angle, but let's just give it a shot and see how that works. It looks like that can be a little bit closer to the wall to get a higher line. But now let me just show you this one. Well, let me dim the light a little bit. So now today's tool is this one right here. This has a really steep angle right there, so you can put this right up against the wall. That line that goes straight up, you can see it right there. If you can see my hand right here, I'm coming back. I am actually about 10 inches or so. If I look up to the ceiling, that's actually about 1 foot behind there. So if you put that right up, it'll have a green line going straight up. So I noticed with the smaller ones right here, if you want to have a vertical line that goes up at least 8 feet, this will be approximately 4 foot 2 inches away from that bottom right there. This one right here can go right up next to it and it'll put a green line all the way up 8 feet. So let's take a look at the box here. I'll give you some of the specs. It has a 100-foot range, plus or minus 1/8 of an inch accuracy. It has a horizontal line or a vertical line or both. Has a magnetic mount, and then it has a smart pendulum system. As I mentioned here, it has the green beam, which gives you up to 4 times brighter lines for maximum line visibility. Then it has a long vertical laser line, which extends the line visibility to an almost 360-degree vertical plane when the tool is placed against the wall. Visimax technology, the laser diode temperature is constantly monitoring to ensure maximum line visibility. The smart pendulum system self-levels and indicates out of level condition. Pendulum locks when it's switched off. 2-year warranty. Okay, I'd like to show you another project where I'm using the Bosch crossline laser level. That's to line up a flip-up grab bar in a barrier-free restroom. So I'm using the laser to match the height with the existing grab bar. Now I'm marking the holes in the wall where the 6 anchors go. And the second item in my Tool Review Tuesday is the Bosch Bluegranite Turbo Carbide hammer drill bits. And I'm using the 5/16 bit right here to start with. And I'm drilling the hole for the anchors sleeves to go into. This is in a block wall. And the hammer drill went through with those bits no problem. And then I finished the rest of them, installed the grab bar, and now I'm checking with the laser to see how it lines up. Turn the light off so you can see better. And right there, the laser is right where it should be, showing those two lined up together. And now I'm using another bit, a 1/4 inch bit, and I'm putting a holder clip. This holder will keep the grab bar from falling down in the upright position. So there's the bracket, the holder bracket, and then there, it locks in place, it lines up perfect. All right, job well done. You know, I believe that once you get a crossline laser level like this, you're gonna wonder how you ever got along without it. I wish that I had this back when I was finishing the basement of my house. There is a couple areas where things would have been much straighter, and now I'm just kind of kicking myself, and I live with it, but this right here is the way to go. So one of the next projects I'm gonna do using this up above here, you probably really can't see it, but I'm gonna put another shelf. And then just to make sure that I have that shelf nice and level, I'm gonna put this line up there. And that will make the job go much faster, and then I don't have to worry about it not being level. So one thing I do have to point out, in case you're wondering, you can't turn the laser on and then point it up. You do have to raise this up to the same height or lower it to the same height that you're working at. So I just want to point that out. So if you have some questions, put them down below, I'll be happy to answer. Also, if you check out the Home Depot website, I do have a link down below if you want to check this out. And there you'll see a lot of questions, the ratings, and then a lot of the questions are actually answered by Bosch themselves. They do a really good job reaching out to their customers. So my goal of this video is to help you guys out to see whether or not this tool is right for you. I really think that once you buy something like this, whether it's a smaller one or this bigger one, you'll just wonder how you ever got along without it. This is just something that when I put it away, I always keep it very handy, not like way in the back of the drawer or anything like that, because this thing is like the go-to. There's just so many different times that I've used it, and it's just so quick and easy. You don't have to worry about getting the, where's my, oh yeah, there's a couple levels I have over there. So I don't really get those out very often. I usually go with this. So that's my take on it. So if you find this video review interesting, informative, and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Help support my channel. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.